BioXmark by Nanovi is a new liquid fiducial marker with unique features to radiographically mark soft tissue and guide for higher precision of radiation therapy. The product has been developed and is marketed by Nanovi, a Danish company specialized in precision marking for better cancer therapy. BioXmark stems from a scientific collaboration between Nanovi and the Danish Technological University, DTU, and is rooted in a unique carbo-gel technology invented at DTU's Department of Health Technology. Led by the main inventor, Professor Thomas L. Andresen, who is also the founder of Nanovi, the new technology was recently published in Science Advances. So the novel liquid tissue marker platform was recently published. Can you explain the main features of the technology and what was the motivation and background behind its invention?
So we learned about what, at the time, current fiducial markers were doing for patients receiving radiotherapy. And we wanted to create something that had higher flexibility and were more biocompatible with natural tissues. So we started out creating what we call the carbo-gel technology, which is what we published in Science Advances recently. We started with carbohydrates and built a system that could be injected as a liquid into tissues through thin needles, endoscopes, bronchoscopes, and transforms inside the tissues into a gel that has very high contrast. It's a very stable system, so it remains in the tissue where you inject it for months, essentially. It has very high contrast, and it has very high flexibility in also what you can incorporate into it. So we can put actually multiple different types of contrast agents into it. In the BioXmark, which is the first technology that came out, we incorporated CT and ultrasound as the contrast agents, and we have a system that is stable for months. So the stability, the flexibility, the biocompatibility, and the way that adheres to the tissues is really unique for this product, in our opinion, and it's the foundation of the article that we published.
As the first product developed on the basis of the technology, BioXmark was recently launched in Europe by Nanovi. How do you see the potential for this product?
So we hope, of course, as inventors, that it has huge potential and it will make a difference for patients broadly. I think one of the features with this technology and the BioXmark is that it has this flexibility in the way you can incorporate and use it in a flexible way in multiple different cancer types. And it's up to the medical doctor that are planning the treatment how they want to use this product. So there's this flexibility incorporated into it. And that is based on that you can actually place multiple markers in the same injection procedure because it's a liquid when you place it. So it's super easy to inject. The other features it has is that it also has MR contrast based on the way the material behaves in an MR imaging situation, and it also doesn't perturb and give these perturbations in CT imaging as seen with many fiducial markers. The last thing is it doesn't perturb the proton therapy. So that you can actually use it in proton therapy, which is not something you can do with other fiducial markers. And that is because it's based on an organic material, essentially, and not gold and other types of materials in that range, so you don't get these perturbations.
So what will, in your view, be the long-term use potential of liquid soft tissue markers in cancer therapy, including also their potential use in the fields of surgery?
So the basic technology, which is also what we described in the Science Advances article, has this high flexibility in what we incorporate into it. So it's a foundation based on carbohydrates, which is a natural product, but we can incorporate multiple different contrast agents into it. And that allows us to actually optimize with small changes for many different applications. And one of the kind of most interesting applications we would really like to move into is surgery. And we can put in, for example, near-infrared dyes into the system so that you inject these markers and you have, again, multiple different contrast agents or contrast capability, but where you can incorporate things that are highly useful for example, robotic surgery, image-guided surgery, but also make the markers more hard so that they are palpable and that the medical doctors performing surgeries can actually feel the markers, which has high interest in areas where you have, for example, very small tumors that are difficult to find. Then during planning procedures, you can incorporate these markers and put these palpable markers in that both through imaging but also actually how they feel can guide removal of cancer tissue in a more specific way. So we hope that will create a more safe, faster, more economical, sound procedure for both the health system but also the patient. Yes. So in essence, we believe we have created technology that has this very high flexibility in the way you can use it. We hope that provides medical doctors in the field of cancer and treatment of patients with a technology that they can use and optimize together, both with Nanovi as a company, but also in their daily life in procedures they perform, where there's ways to keep optimizing surgical procedures, whether it's radiotherapy or surgery for the patients. And this flexibility, we strongly believe, has a very high potential in how we can change and optimize and hopefully find completely new ways that patients can be treated in a more precise way during surgery and radiotherapy procedures. And image guidance is a key in that. And that's what we've created with this technology.